So,
Okay.
uh, did you guys got our last session, the self-scripting, all of the basic command? Have you tried this command, whatever thing I have told you? Yes, no, didn't got time.
Yes, Prashant. Some of them
No.
I tried for my own, but scripting and all I need to
Yes.
try.
Okay, great. Because not everything you can basically practice, but the few of them which I have mentioned here, if you practice, like it will be in your mind, like all of this thing, how like all of this thing exist in Linux and how to achieve this thing. So according to your use case, if that come, because all of the scenario you cannot cover, but few fundamentals if you cover, you know, like you have the fair idea like how to achieve this thing. Okay, I believe we have covered this loops till loops we have covered like today we'll start with function, like what is the purpose of function. Let's start now. So basically, let me take something. Okay, so let's see, you wrote a shell script program in any file. So how it executes line by line. But let's say you wrote a feature which, let's say it's a feature which it basically reads file or check if file exists or not. So, so when you run this script .sh file, it runs like here you have seen like there is a extension which we give. So yeah, this one. So this means is that so it will Linux by default will use this interpreter and this know like all of the basic command like whatever thing you are using it will help use this to execute everything like whatever thing you are like using this shell it will use this like run every command whatever thing you are mentioning. So basically when in the top of the any command this whatever if you mention like this means you are instructing your Linux operating system to execute this whole script, use this shell. This means that. So this script basically run line by line. And let's say you have a feature, you have developed something, and let's say it's pretty much like backup script. So like push to S3. So you wrote this thing like all of the command, like whatever AWS command you have used under this thing, and you wrote it again. Like you use basically this script. What it does is that it takes the backup and just push the backup to S3 bucket. But now there are hundreds and thousands of your servers are there from where you need to take your backup, like databases are there. So how much line you need to write the same feature. So to maintain a feature, like to maintain some coding best practice, there is a fundamental thing which you need to take care of, like TRY. Do not repeat yourself. Let's say if I implemented
Deepak,
any feature, yeah.
sorry to interrupt. If you're sharing the screen, it's not visible.
Oh, oh, my bad.
No problem.
So no, no one is telling. Okay, no issue.
No
So okay. So this is your script where you have implemented something like a feature like a push to S3. So in this feature, basically like this whole script, what it does is that it takes backup from hundreds of your like two th like 10 databases and then push that backup to S3 bucket. But let's say there you have 10, like it for one database it works fine, but for 10 databases you will write the same logic again and again. So you can, yeah, like you can implement the whole feature here and you can encapsulate that whole feature of the whole logic, whole command into a function, and then you can trigger this function whenever you require in this whole script. So this is the way you use your function to maintain, like, do not repeat yourself concept, like dry functionality of, like dry feature, dry basic, dry coding best practice. You can use this thing. So let's go through few of the example which I have created. Uh, let's think this thing. So how you create any function. So here you can see. So you can name anything like push S3 bucket something. Then you basically write any command like AWS command or whatever thing you want to do, like whatever command you want to achieve. Then you can trigger this thing. Let's see here. Return 0. Let's take this simple example. Mm, okay, touch grid dot sh. Okay, vim grid dot sh. You go here, insert mode, and then paste. Now, hello, this something you have done. Then let's call this as Alice. So basically, I have created something like greet, a function. And in the next step, what I am doing, basically, I am calling this function and I am passing the argument here. So this $1 is nothing but the first argument. So whatever thing I am passing after this, it will take it as like the first argument, it will print this thing. Let's check this thing, it will give you more clarity, like what it is doing. Cat, greet, then chmod, make it as executable. So this means executable, then greet. If I do run this, here you can see. So basically, it will read like line by line, and then here you can see it is basically triggering this function, and then it I am passing this Alice. So when this function will execute, it will basically print this thing, and you will get this thing dynamically from here. Now let's modify this thing a bit. Uh, insert mode. Let's go to here. You can basically, let's duplicate this thing. So like any one of you like can tell what it will print. So if I do this thing, let's clear grid. Here you can see like grid. So basically I called this function once with argument Alice. So it basically replaces this thing with Alice. Then again it comes to this line and this it triggers this thing, and then basically it replaces this. This thing is dynamic. That's why the first argument, whatever thing I am passing here, it take it as like Deepak here and then replaces it. That's why it prints Deepak like Alice and Deepak here. You got this thing? Yes, no.
Yeah, if you mention the return 0, you have mentioned the return 1, we can print only one or both will be print.
No, return zero means successfully execution.
Okay.
Yeah. You can basically do this thing like you can uh, remove this thing also. Let's test. Oh, sorry. Look here. So basically, return zero basically defines. So in the previous session, like standard, like I have. So basically, whenever your command executes successfully, so it return, you return basically return zero. And whenever there is an issue with like any command, it interrupts in between due to some issue. So basically, you return $1. So basically, like you can capture like if this thing like whatever command executing here like fails, so basically it should automatically like return as one. So you can intercept that thing in your code or logic, and you can do this thing like if S3 bucket push like the whatever backup you have took, if that fails, then basically you need to retry, no? So that's how you capture that this function execute like successfully or not. This means that so similarly, you can do a lot of things from here, like here, exit capture. So let's take this thing. Uh, so if you do this echo $1, so basically, this dollar, like if you do echo dollar something question mark, so this return zero, like it basically defines like the last command, whatever command you have run into current shell, like it is successfully executed or not. Like if it returns zero means you have successfully executed the last command. If it returns one means there is some issue in running that command. So this is that thing. So here is more advanced like scripting I have done. Like here, it's not much more advanced if someone is familiar with the programming language, but here you can see the loops. Like there will be a scenario where you want to print something in loop. So this is how you can do if you want to create any logic or if you want to retrieve something dynamically. Like there are few of the syntax like this will print nothing but the there is indexing goes on. So basically is nothing but like set. So here you have defined bracket zero means this will print apple, then bracket one something like if you do this thing means or it will print all of the element. If you do hash then fruit, the number of elements got printed. Let's test this thing once. Hmm, what's that? Like like it will be like quite boring for you for the first time, but these are the foundation which will help you to create like to solve real world DevOps problem or through scripting and all. So this is nothing but creation of your like logic, nothing else. These are basics which everyone should know like how to do. Like obviously all of the command you cannot remember, but if you have like have seen somewhere, you can the implementation and making of approach will be like quite helpful for you. So similarly here you can see let's print this thing. So what is happening? So here this dollar means it will get replaced dynamically. So fruit, then this and like the square bracket then zero means it will print this apple because the indexing, this is nothing but a set, and it will always start with 0. So if you make this thing 0 here, then it will print this thing like apple. If you do here 1, means it will print this thing banana. If you do here like 2, then it will print this cherry. And similarly, if you want to list out every element, this is how you can do at the rate in between square bracket. And if you want to basically print the number of your element, so basically this is a set of 3 elements. That's why it has printed 3 here. If you want, you can see. Let's let's print this thing. And then 2. So any one of you like can tell what it will print now. If you run this command, you see apple, banana, cherry. So it is printing everything one by one. Apple, banana, this will print banana, then cherry in the next line. This is how you can do this thing, looping or retrieving anything from set. Just know how you guys like you guys
Yes.
you got this thing.
Yep, Debugging got it. Yes.
Okay, great. Now let's move to another thing. Let's see. So here you can see like it's a positional argument. So one thing I want to share with you, there, let's say, you have created a script. Touch my script dot sh vim my script dot sh, then you print this thing. Oh, chmod plus x. You guys know like why I'm doing this thing.
For, for permission the file.
Yeah, let's
To
revise.
execute that.
Yeah. So basically, Linux is very secure. When you create any file, the user which has created this file, currently I am Ubuntu user. So by default, it will not give you the permission to execute. That's why by doing this, I am basically making this script as executable. Here you can see it is not giving me that. So chmod plus x my script.sh. Oh, sorry. Now, if I run this script, what will happen? My script, see, the script name is this. So what is happening here? So there is a positional argument happen. So uh, let me change this thing a bit, then it will give you much more clarity. My script name is this, and first argument has $1. If I do this thing, get my script, here you can see there's nothing what I have edited. Let's run this thing. My script, let's run this again. So look here. So basically, this is nothing but your 0th argument, and whatever thing you pass, let's say Deepak. Look here the difference. So this will act as your 0th argument. That's why it replaces this whole command here. And the second one, whatever thing you have passed, it has just printed replace this $1 here. So that's how, let's say you have a task to do something on any particular AWS account. Let's say so when you will be working on real world project, there will be a multiple AWS account you will be dealing with, and you need to like it is a very like you need to prepare some script. There will be a scenario where you will not be doing everything manually, but through automation. I'm not saying like everything you will be doing through automation. There will be a like it completely depend on the requirement. So let's take a very simple requirement where you have to write a script where you take the backup of database in one environment, and then you push that database backup into that environment as 3 bucket. So uh, let's say this is account one, AC1. This is your account one. This is your another AWS account two. Okay. Now let's say here S3 bucket will be there in this AWS account, and there's S3 bucket here, and there is databases in this. Databases in this AWS account, let's say multiple databases, and there is a database in this AWS account. So you need to basically create a script which will do nothing but automation. It will take the backup of all of these database, and then it will just push the whole backup here in this particular AWS account. So when you will be designing this script, so what you will be here, you can see that the same task you have to perform here and here, but you cannot write two script because the same task you are doing for this for all both the command. So what thing you can do is that you can basically make this thing dynamic. So you can create a script which will accept argument as account here. So this, let's say this script is backup.sh, and it will accept account in the second argument. So this is the practical real use case of accepting like arguments while writing any script. So this is one of the example. There are a lot of example or and scenarios which you will be like which you will came up like while you will be doing work. So is this thing clear? Like what is the purpose of this and where you can implement this thing, where you can use this positional argument and yes, no.
As I
So
understand that account one and account two, both the database is copying to the other thing, right? Or only one account?
yeah, you can basically whatever thing you have write in this script, you can run this thing from for this account. Then in the next step, you can use this script in this account.
Mm.
So the this is the way you can do. There is much more simpler thing, but this is just an example. Uh, Simple example which I want to give, like this is one of the use case where you can use this thing. Obviously, one of the simple ways that you can basically loop this whole account. So first it will this whole script will run for this. Then
Mm.
after finishing of this, you can basically
Correct.
this script will run for this. So you can use loops here, but I want to basically showcase the usefulness of these arguments. One more thing like variabilizing and all of those things you can use. Basically, you can write the script and you can variabilize the account name, and then you can change it this dynamically whenever you require. All of those things you can do with the script.
All right. Thank you, Deepak.
See here, the exit code. Uh, the thing which I explained zero, like question mark, then dollar, then question mark means if it returns zero means success, then If it returns one in general, and then this two, misuse of shell built in. I'm also like not sure why, not sure, like not came up with this scenario, but majorly you will be tackling with this. That's how you do. So this is something like you can use to enable debugging while running any script. This you will be helpful when you will be having a very much more bigger script when you will be running. Very few people use this thing, but yeah, if you use this thing, it will be like helpful for you to do debugging and everything. Like wherever your script fails, it will show like where it fails and all of the debugging, like where is the command. So all of those things you can use this set hyphen -1 to enable debugging and then plus for disable the debugging. So this thing you can do, but interesting thing is that this practical exercise, I believe we can run this thing. Let's run this thing, then I will explain like what is this thing is doing. This basically it is preparing a system report. Let's check this thing, like the script, and understand what it is doing. Uh, touch then system report dot sh. Then so let's say you have a requirement where you need to create a script to incrementally check the system report. I'm not saying like this is why this is only the one approach you can use. It completely depends on your scenario. Ch mod plus x. System report. Let's check this thing. See? So it is basically running everything line by line. Here you can see the first line run system report, then date, the date. So let's say your manager is saying like, I want system report, like it is running, should be like running every day, and it is basically sending mail to every like leads, like what is the health of the system, like what are all the processes running every day, like all of those kind of stuff. So you can write a script and automate this thing, and you can enable this script through any cron job, and uh, then you can use some SMTP configuration, and then you can mail this whole thing to all of your team members. Like there is much more better way, but the main thing is that we are learning the script. So here you can see date. So this is nothing but a built-in feature of Linux which you can use. So it basically prints the date in UTC by default. You can basically tune this thing if you go here, man date, and change everything, whatever format, whatever UTC and all of those date specific requirement, whatever you have, you can set from here. Date, month, like the format you want to choose. So everything you can do this thing from by like reading this manual. Uh, Control C. Then next is nothing but the uptime. So this uptime basically defines like from how many days or like the system is been up. Uh, So this is how you do hyphen like uptime, then hyphen p, then it will print. Here you can see it is the system is running for from up for a week, 1 day, then 4 hours, then 56 minutes. Then free is the command which you can use to basically print the memory. Now let's see this. Also, we are learning text processing. Here you can see if you do free hyphen h, so you are getting a lot of memory and swap memory related details, but I want to retrieve this total and used. So here you can see print $3 and dollar like slash $2. So it is basically splitting. What this AWK is doing is that when you do this slash memory means wherever it finds that line. So here you can see this whole line. This whole line it will capture this AWK command. Then what you want? You want the third one and the second one. So it start with I believe zero. It start with zero, third, one, two, three. So here you can see it start with like one. So when it will split this thing, so the first it will basically divide this thing as a table. So this will be your one, this will be your two, this will be your three. That's why it has printed this three like 379 here, then 957 something here. So that's how AWK command will see. This AWK is nothing but a text processing utility you can use like to basically retrieve or process this very complex text and retrieve if you want to retrieve anything from here. That's how you do. So similarly, disk you use this df-h. So if you do df-h, you will get a lot of details, but you want only few specific detail. That's why here, if you see in the command nr underscore like equals to 2. So this is nothing but nr means where it is printing df-h disk 2.5 and 19. So this 2.5 and 19 it is taking, and there is a meaning of this nr2. Let's so you can use this awk. Awk is in itself is very vast, but it is like a text processing utility you can use. So let's say what is nr. Nr I also forgot. You can refer this thing. Number. So here you can see built-in display the number. So here it has explained like what is the purpose of this NR. So let's say AWK then print NR0 comma 0. Okay, let's take a simple NR3, NR6, 3. Here you can see 1, 2, 3. So it has take the line number 3, and what it has take 6th. Three, then 6, then print NR0, then apply from here. Let's play with this a bit to get like understanding. So NR is a built-in, there's a number, okay, and line number, numbered line, 0th. If you do this, Varun manager sales, then 10,000, like 5,000, like 50,000, Varun manager sales, so NR3. Okay, so this means nothing but it is this AWK command is saying to print to start with third and then end with six. This is what it is saying. So third to six, it has trimmed the whole. Like here you can see there is a lot of columns are there. So it has basically skipped all of this thing, but it has started from here, then it has printed here. So there is a lot of like thing you can do using AWK. AWK in itself is a scripting language which you can learn. Obviously, there is a lot of thing here you can see, you can explore, but and here you can see you can use looping here. So basically, you can pass something like in a text processing way, like file you can pass, and a conditional also you can use here, like if you want to print something, but not something like the particular column, the particular row, all of those things you can use. So AWK is in itself is a very complex utility, and all of the flag you can use here, like whatever arguments you want to pass, and our NF, FS, so all of these things you can use here. So that's how you can do. Similarly, you can see here, I have done like an R, then I have basically retrieved this whole, this line and this line, and then I have printed this thing here. Then similarly goes to the next line top, then basically PS AUX, I have told you like it will basically print everything, every process, whatever thing it is running, then sort by memory. Uh, then head hyphen 10. Basically, I have retrieved and trimmed every process. So this is how you write any script. Like it's like what if someone is seeing this thing in a very initial state, it will look very complex, but you does not remember everything, every command. But according to your use case, you explore that particular thing, and then you write any script. But the main important thing is that uh, if you does not know that this all thing exists, you cannot like present any solution, or you cannot come up with the solution. Now, the since you know this AWK command exists, according to your use case, you will be going and like tuning or configuring that particular command according to your requirement. So this is the purpose. This is the way. This is the way you like learn this scripting. Yes, no. Here are few.
Yes, Deepak.
Yes.
So similarly, this one is another one you guys can explore this thing. So this is nothing but doing a backup. Here you can see a backup directory. So the logic I have. So basically, it is doing nothing but this hyphen D checks if that directory exists or not. Then if not exist, then it will create the directory. Then tar command basically it is used to zip or compress your file. So all of those things, all of those logic, it's a very simple command you can use. This, for example, like that's how you write any script. It is not like very compulsory that you have to do like this way only. There is the way you like there are every person have a very different approach. So this so
Okay.
here you can see like here you can see user management script, create a user. So remember I have told you like you have a requirement where you have a CSV file or TXT file where you have to create a lot of thousands like hundreds of user. You have a task to do uh, create hundreds of user in any Linux machine. How you will achieve this thing? So that's how you achieve. Like this is not the only way. It is very simple script. There might be a very complex scenario which you have, like which you have to tackle. But this is how you can do. Like please run as a root. Then it is checking basically if you are running this script as a root or not. Because remember, few of the command will require sudo access. If you run this script and you run user add, this command will abruptly like exit without any like it will not be running completely, but it will like crash your script. But you need to be like you have to run this script as a sudo user or as a root user. That's what I am checking this thing. All of these are nothing but the edge cases or scenarios which you will be writing in your script. Like obviously you cannot take backup without any directory been there in any like in your Linux machine. So obviously you will write this thing like first check if that directory exists or not. There's something like that. All of those checks you will be doing this thing. So similarly, here you can see this forward command is doing nothing but it is iterating line by line and it is creating user. If that user exists, then skip. If not, add the user and then it is creating the user and then printing that user is created and then it is basically this. I also no. It is basically printing, like creating user password and setting user password, all of those things. You can do this thing, but there might be a much more complex scenario, which or very different scenario will be doing this thing. This is not the only way, but that's how this is one of the example of user management script. There might be a scenario where you will be accepting few of the thing as argument. So all of those things you can do in shell scripting.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how the so here we complete few of the Linux most important thing. One thing I believe I should explain you guys, like you guys are like aware of SSH, secure shell,
Yes,
everyone?
Yes.
I know. To connect remote servers, SSH like a remote desktop in
Yeah.
Windows.
Yeah. So everyone, so Madhu, you also know, like we can cover
Yes, yes,
this
yes,
thing very
Deepak.
quick. Okay. So I believe we can skip this thing if everyone knows. Uh, okay. Then these are few of the very important and basic crucial topic in Linux, which we have covered. But let's start a quick intro with this Git module. So everyone like familiar with Git? What is the purpose of Git? Why it has introduced and how to use the concept?
Yes, a little bit depends. A little bit I know about Git.
Okay, let's start with quite a basic. So what is happening? What happened? Why? What is the emergence? Why there is an emergence of this Git? So I will not take much of the time, but let's say take a very simple scenario. Let's take this is developer one and it is working in any project. Let's say tab one. And there is another dev too, which is one other working on the same project. So basically, Git solves a problem where you want to work in a very collaborative way. So Git is nothing but a centralized like version control system where you can track what all files have been changed. Like uh, let's say developer one change line 4 and committed and then push to GitHub and then same line have changed the developer too. So there is like whatever you have developed 10 feature, but you need to track like who has like committed this thing or who has done this code changes. So there might be a case like developer one has changed something and there is a huge production outage have been there recently. There is a AWS outage in US East one region, so there might be someone doing something in their system, probably their own developers. So how you will track like who has changed which line or which code? So that's why this Git helps you to track down each file, each line on who has committed which thing. So this is how this is the case. This is the utility or tool which you can use to uh, do that thing. So there are few of the command which you can use, which you will be using daily, day to day, in the Git. So let me explain Git workflow. There is one diagram which I want to show you the stages of Git and shall help you to identify. Yeah, this one. So when you when you install this Git now, so you have a working directory, staging area, local repo, then remote repo. So there is a particular flow which happens when you do some changes. Let's take an example. Mm, cd slash tmp. Come here, touch uh, git demo. Sorry, mkdir git demo cd git demo git status. So here you can see what it is saying. Fatal, no git repository on any parent directory dot git. So basically, if you want to track down whatever changes you have in your file, so you need to initialize the git in that directory. How you initialize your git init. You do this thing. So now this git is been initialized. So now let's say touch twpak dot txt. So here I have created a file, but uh, so there is a change in this directory. Earlier, this directory is empty. So I have created a file here. So I want to track like if is any changes been happen here in this directory or not. So how you check what line, what file, if there is any file getting introduced or is there is any code changes is being introduced or not. So git status is the command. See here what it is saying. On branch main, no commit yet, untrack file. Nothing added to commit but untracked file present. So here you can see in this red, it is saying, the Git is saying that there is a file which got created here. So when you initialize your Git, you are creating a work directory and you have initialized that thing that if there is any changes in this directory, yeah, the Git will know like there is any change. So there is a flow like you basically want to commit this thing means you want to commit you want other developer to work in this file, so there is a flow which you have to follow. So from working directory you basically have to push this thing in staging area. So how you push this thing in staging area? Git add, then file name, enter. Now if you do git status, enter, see here this red line is been converted to this green line, means it is now been tracked by the git and it is into the staging area. Now I want to commit this file. What is the command? Git commit -m. Let's commit. So whenever you commit anything, you basically provide a message like what is the message. So and like whatever changes you have done, let's take you have done any configuration related changes in a Docker file or any Kubernetes manifest file. So that specific message you need to provide. Introduced file, enter. Now if you do git status, see here nothing to commit. So now this is like committed and it is now shifted to your local repo. Okay. Yes, no.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Now
It puts.
Let's do some changes here. Cat debug like echo dw pak. Let's do this only. Debug.txt git status. See here. Now Git knows like you have done something in this file. Now let's add this file git commit -m. Oh, sorry, git commit -m. Added content. Added content in this file. Now if you do git status, see here, oh, there's nothing to commit. But let's say you need to check what all commits you have done, what all changes you have done. So there is a command git log. See here, the comment which you have passed. So you have committed this thing here and here. So here you have introduced the file and here you have added the content. So you have done 2 changes in this file, in this whole directory. Let's introduce another thing like touch devops.txt git status git commit -m added devops file commit -m. Oh, sorry, I need to add git status git add devops.txt and I have to commit this thing added devops. If you do git log, see here, this is the first commit, this is second commit, this is third commit. So now this is the way how you do commit.
Okay.
And these are the stages. So till this we have covered few of the command, the local repo. Rest this remote repo, how you pull, push, check out, all of this thing will cover tomorrow. Till then, you guys go and explore this scripting, this shell scripting. Like you just try to run all of this script and then you will be like getting everything. Just explore few of the more flags, whatever thing I have like told here, AWK. You just read AWK documentation. Not you don't need to remember everything because it is not possible for a human to remember everything. But just go and get a glimpse like what all things you can achieve this thing. And we'll cover like we'll continue with the Git, the rest wherever we are, the Git remote repo, how you push, pull, check out, and all of those concepts we'll cover in the next session. And there is much more interesting thing in Git which is happening. We'll cover GitHub action, like how you automate CI/CD. We'll read about GitHub action, what all thing you can achieve this thing, like all of those things, branching strategy, and then cherry pick, all of those things. We'll cover rebase, how you merge two codes. Yeah, all of those things we'll cover. Let's try like wherever in the next section. Till then,
All right.
you can practice.
Can you set the
All right.
file?
This is public. This is public repo. You can access this. Wait,
Okay.
I'm sharing. Look, wait. DevOps tool Linux. Uh, there. Okay, I have shared. You can access this and you can refer this.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Deepak.
guys. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. You can drop
Thank
now.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.